Hello students, today we are going to start the next chapter, that is the animal kingdom, and this chapter is from the 11th class. Okay, so what was the need to describe different animals in this chapter? Yes, need was created. What was the need? There are, as you know, there is a huge amount of biodiversity on the earth, and it is not possible for the human being to remember each and every organism at a one time only. Just it can see and give the name also. So it is necessity to describe or to classify and identify also, to grouping of the organisms on the basis of their characters. So same type of organisms can be classified in one group, and different type of organisms can be classified into different groups. That is why this animal kingdom chapter was made. So what was the basis of classification? Yes, definitely if we are going to classify the organisms into different groups, we must fix some criteria. So on the basis of which we can placing into different phylums. So these are the criteria. First is the arrangement of cells. Second is body symmetry. Third is nature of xylem. Fourth is the pattern of digestive and circulatory system. Beside this, germlates and notochord is also there. So we will discuss one by one. First is the level of organization. What do you mean by level of organization? As you know, organisms, first criteria was to divide the organisms from the simplicity to complexity. Yes, there are some organisms on the earth that are very simple, but if we will see, the organisms are also there which are very complex to study. So some organisms are made up of cells, and you know, cells are arranged on the different levels. A grouping of cells will make the tissues, and a group of tissues will make the organs, and a organ with its accessory parts will make the organ systems. And different organ systems, when work together, they will be known as the organ systems. So this is the main level of organization of the cells to the organ system level organization. Till that, on the basis of that, organisms have been classified. So first is cellular level organization, in which the organisms in which only cells will found, no tissue or organ system will develop. These were sponges, and the example is cycone and spongilla. Second, when cells will arrange together, they will make the tissues, and when tissues were loosely arranged, they will develop some organisms. Example is coelentrates, that is also known as cnidaria. Example is orilla and adamasia. Third is the organ level organization, when tissues arranged together to form the organ. Example is platyhelminthes, that will include the tinea and fasciculum hepatica. And when organ along with these accessory parts will make the organ system level organization. And the organisms which have organ system level organizations are include nematodes, annelida, mollusca, chordates and arthropoda. You can take the example, nematodes include ascaris, annelida include nereis, mollusca include pila and octopus, and arthropod includes all the insects. So you just see here, when we go from top to bottom, from the cellular level organization to the organ system level organization, complexity will increase. So these are the simplest organisms, and if you will see here, these are the complex organisms. So first was the level of organization. Second is the body symmetry. Yes, if we are going to observe any of the organism, firstly we will observe their phenotype. That means external characters we will observe first, then the internal characters. So on the basis of observation, we can also divide the organisms. But these symmetry, how we can observe the organisms, divide into three parts. Asymmetrical organisms, the organisms which have radial symmetry and which have the bilateral symmetry. So first is asymmetry, the organisms which do not have fixed type of symmetry, they are irregular in shape, they are having the symmetry, asymmetrical symmetry. How can we define this? If we are cutting an organism from the center and any of the plane, then it will divide into different structures. That means no structure will be identical to each other. Example include the sponges, which are asymmetrical organisms. That means of the irregular shape. Second is the radial symmetry. If we will cut any of the organism from the any plane but through the center, it will divide into two equal parts. Any of the plane we can cut, but we have to cut it from the center only. Then it will divide into two equal halves. Example is the coelentrates and stenophora. And third is the bilateral symmetry. When body is divided into two equal halves from any of the plane, then it is organism will be divided to two equal left and right halves. That is known as the bilateral symmetry. Examples are the arthropoda, annelida, chordates, and the mollusca. Third characteristics, that is the coelom. Yes, what is coelom? Coelom is the body cavity that is lined by the mesoderm. You must keep in mind when we are thinking the complex organisms. So complex organisms like us human beings develop from the zygote. Zygote was a single cell. Zygote is the single cell structure. Then zygote will develop into the blastula. Then blastula develop into the gastrula. And the gastrula have the germ layers. And there are three types of germ layer: ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. But main point is, if a cavity will found in between the germ cells and that is lined by the mesoderm, that is known as the coelom. And on the basis of this coelom or cavity, organisms divide into three categories: acoelomates, pseudocoelomates, and the coelomates. Acoelomates that do not have body cavity, that means body cavity is absent. Example is the platyhelminthes. Second is pseudocoelomates. Mesoderm is present in these organisms, but that mesoderm is found in the patches in the cavity. That is known as the pseudocoelomates. Example is Aschelminthes, that include the ascaris. Coelomates which have the body cavity. So body cavity is present. Example include annelida, chordates, and the mollusca. After that, after these three characteristics, we can say germ layers is also is a category. Germ layer. What is the germ layer? When organism will develop, for example, we have taken the example of the human beings, in which will develop from the gastrula. And gastrula have three types of layer: ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. So organisms which have two layers is known as the diploblastic, and which have three germs layer is known as the triploblastic. Okay? So diploblastic organisms that have ectoderm and endoderm but do not have mesoderm, example is the coelentrates. And if we will say the triploblastic means three. The organisms which have three germ layers is known as the triploblastic. Example include from platyhelminthes to chordates, all the organisms. So after this, one more characteristic is the pattern of digestive system. Yes, digestive system. Digestive system is start from the mouth and complete on the anus. That means the organisms which have both the openings, mouth for the intake of the food and anus for the removal of the waste. Then these are known as the complete digestive system. But if the organisms have only one outlet, one opening, and from that it intake also and release the waste also, that is known as the incomplete digestive system. So digestive system is of two types: complete digestive system and incomplete digestive system. So the organisms which have both mouth as well as anus, that is known as the complete digestive system, like the human beings. And the organisms which have only one opening for the intake also and for the release of the waste also, that is known as the incomplete digestive system. Example is the platyhelminthes. And if we see the circulatory system, yes, on the basic circulatory system is also of two types: open circulatory system or the closed circulatory system. Open circulatory system, when heart will pump the blood, but the blood will goes directly to the tissues, and after striking to the tissues and taking the waste, it will come back to the heart again. It means the system, open circulatory system, is the system which have only heart and that will pump the heart, but it does not have the blood vessels for the transportation. That is known as the open circulatory system. Example is the cockroach. Second is the we can say closed circulatory system. Closed circulatory system, example is the human beings, where blood is flow through the blood vessel throughout the body. That means heart will pump the blood and that blood will goes to the different tissues with the help of blood vessels. That is known as the closed circulatory system. Okay, other than one more characteristic is there, that is the notopode. Yes, notopode is a rod-like structure that is present in the dorsal ventral surface. You just see, if we are, so many times students are confused between the dorsal and ventral surface. So if you will see from the front, this surface is known as the ventral part, and behind part is known as the dorsal part. So where is our heart is located? In the front side, inside the ribs. That means it is present on the ventral side. Where is our backbone is located? On the dorsal side. So notochord is a rod-like structure that is present in the dorsal surface. You can see back side. And dorsal surface, what is the main function of that notochord? Yes, notochord which have the notochord are known as the chordates, and which do not have notochord is known as the non-chordates. Yes, and it will the main rod-like structure that will provide the support to an organism. So these are some characteristics like arrangement of cells, body symmetry, nature of xylem, pattern of digestive and circulatory system, number of germ layers, and the notochord, on the basis of which animals have been classified into different categories or different groups. Thank you.